Here are 10 steps to financially prepare for a recession, whether one's on the horizon or not. In this video, I'm going to break down how you can protect your money, how you can reduce your financial stress, and how you can even look for and see the opportunities all around you in the midst of an economic crisis. Number one, you have to understand what a recession really means. Are you worried about the next recession? Don't be. Understanding how recessions work can help you stay calm and help you see the opportunities all around you. A recession happens when the economy slows down for 6 months. In a recession, it's common for businesses to make less money, for people to lose their job, and for the stock market to go down. Sounds scary, right? But understand this, recessions are absolutely normal. And they usually happen once every 6 to 10 years. And they normally last for about a year. Think about the Great Depression, one of the worst economic downturns in all of human history. But guess what? The economy bounced back. And the same thing happened after 2008, as well as what happened after COVID. But people who stayed patient and kept investing their money saw it grow over time. And unless they did anything stupid like selling when the market's down, they not only recovered what they lost in their 401ks, but it actually grew and went on to new heights. Preparation beats it every single time, and also knowing that it is bound to happen and it's normal. The key is to stay calm and remember that every recession throughout recorded history has come to an end and the markets have recovered. And after they recovered, they went on to hit all-time new highs. Tip number two, you got to build a recession-proof emergency fund. Most people are one emergency away from a total disaster. Is that true for you? But having cash in the bank leads to much less stress and the ability to have options when times get tough. So, how much money should you have in an emergency fund? Most financial experts suggest having saved up about 3 to 6 months worth of your monthly expenses if your job is stable. But if you're working in an industry where layoffs are pretty common, it's better to have 6 to 12 months of expenses saved up. Think back to 2020. Millions of people lost their jobs overnight. But the people who had savings, they were able to cover their rent, utilities, groceries without drowning in debt. This gave themselves peace of mind and time until they could get back on top. And you want to be keeping your emergency fund savings in things like savings accounts or high yield savings accounts or CDs, something that you can access if you need it and something that's safe from market downturns. And the biggest benefit? Less stress, more control, and fewer money mistakes when times get tough. So build up an emergency fund. Start small, stay consistent, and protect your future. Tip number three, review and tighten your budget. If a recession hit tomorrow, would your budget survive? When the economy slows down, every single dollar matters. And now is the time to take control of your money before it takes control of you. And here are 3 steps to recession-proof your budget. Number 1, track your spending. Look at last month. Where did every single dollar go? Unless you become conscious of where you're spending your money, you're a lost cause. Step 2, cut non-essentials. Look at your credit card statements. Cut down on subscriptions you're not really using. Cut down on takeout. Cut down on your impulse buys. And step 3, prioritize what matters most. Of course, it's things like housing, utilities, food, healthcare. During the Great Depression, families had to tighten down. They had to stretch every dollar and make every dollar matter. They cooked at home, they fixed their own clothes, and they found creative ways to save. And if you have that same mindset, it can protect you today. This isn't about sacrifice. It's about making smart choices during a period of time when things are tough. When you can control your budget, you can control your financial future. So start now. Tip number 4, pay down high interest debt. Debt becomes even more dangerous during a recession. And if you don't have a plan to tackle it, it could bury you. But here's how to get ahead of it. High interest debt, like credit cards, can quickly spiral out of control when your income drops. During a recession, layoffs and pay cuts are very common. And if you have credit card debt, this can make it really tough to stay on top of your payments. So the absolute best time to pay off balances, if you have any, is when your income is stable. Here are some other recession-proof debt strategies. The first is you got to think about negotiating lower interest rates. Call your credit card companies and make a request that they lower your interest rate. A lower APR means that more of your payment goes towards paying off that principal and you'll pay it off a lot faster. And you might be surprised at how many credit card companies are willing to lower that rate. Another strategy is to consider a balance transfer. If you qualify, you will be getting offers from other credit cards and you might be able to move your balance to a 0% APR at least for a period of time. This can save you a ton of money as you're paying down your debt. And lastly, you want to start working towards that emergency fund. You never want to use credit cards as your emergency fund because they will just destroy your financial future because of those very high interest rates. During the 2008 recession, many homeowners found themselves drowning in high mortgage payments. But people who went into that recession with no credit card debt had much more flexibility and cash flow so that they could maintain their homes. And there's a big psychological benefit to paying off your debt. Every piece of debt that you can pay off reduces your financial stress, it increases your sense of control, and it boosts your financial resilience for when times get tough. Tip number 5, and this is so important, diversify your income streams. What if you lost your job tomorrow? No paycheck, no plan, no income. Would you go hungry? Would you lose your home? Relying on just one income stream is dangerous. It'd be great if we lived in a world where that was fine, but today it's just not, especially in a recession. Companies cut costs. They lay people off. High income earners in companies might be even more vulnerable to a layoff. And if your job disappears overnight, so do your financial dreams and your financial security. The solution? Diversify your income. I've always had at least 3 sources of income. Currently, I have many more than that, and I'm always looking for another one. Do you have alternative sources of income? If not, here's how you can start to build that safety net before it's too late. Number 1, think about side hustles, freelancing, tutoring, selling products online. It's okay to start small and you can scale up later. Number 2, passive income, rental properties, which can sometimes feel somewhat passive, although they're pretty active in terms of your involvement. Dividends from stocks, bond coupons, or digital products that you can sell online so you can make money in your sleep. Number 3, gig work. These are things like pet sitting, dog walking, food delivery, ride share. These are things you can start doing immediately tonight, this weekend, to start building additional sources of income. During the Great Recession, people flipped furniture. They resold items. They did handyman work to survive. And the ones that were able to adapt, they even thrived. But here's the big psychological boost to this strategy. More sources of income equals more stability. More sources of income equals more control. You'll have less stress, less fear. You'll be able to sleep at night and you'll have more financial freedom. So if you only have one source of income, really think about it. Start diversifying your sources of income before you have to. Tip number 6, reassess your investments, but don't panic. The market's going to go up and down, but do you know how you can guarantee to lose money? It's by doing this one thing. Listen, during a recession, the stock market's going to get more volatile. This is normal. It's to be expected. But your brain is wired to freak out. Your fear center is going to light up, and suddenly you're going to feel like you need to pull all your money out before you lose it all. And for most people, that's an absolute mistake. Here's what to do instead. Number 1, check on your actual risk tolerance. Everybody feels like they can handle risk when the market's going up. Can you handle the swings? If not, consult with a financial planner to get a diversified portfolio that you can live with. Number 2, stay diversified. Quite often, the people who are panicking most are the ones who are not adequately diversified. A mixture of stocks and bonds will cushion your investments when a market is volatile. And number 3, stick to your plan. If you're an investor, you're in it for the long term. These short-term fluctuations are meaningless to your financial life and your goals. Long-term investor, short-term dips do not matter. Look at 2000 and 2008. People who panic sold were sitting in cash when the market went on to have some of the highest returns it's ever had in history, and they lost out. Warren Buffett said it best. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. But why is this so hard? What I'm saying to you makes perfect sense. Why is it so difficult to do? It comes down to loss aversion. Studies show that losing money feels twice as painful as the joy you feel in making money. But remember this, market dips are temporary, but panic selling locks in permanent loss. So if you want to get wealthy, you need to invest like the wealthy. Stay calm and stay invested. Tip number 7, protect your job and career. When layoffs start, will your name be on the list or will you be safe? You can't control the economy, but you can control how valuable you are to your employer. In a recession, companies cut costs, and that quite often means jobs. So how do you make sure your job isn't the one they cut? There are 3 tips to recession-proof your career. Number 1, make yourself invaluable. Be the problem solver. Take on extra tasks. Find ways to save time and money for your company and let them know who did it. The more they need you for their bottom line, the more likely they are to keep you. Number two, level up your skills. And this is a great idea no matter what. Take classes, earn certificates, and learn more skills. For example, in 2008, tech workers who took up coding or data analysis had way more job options than those who didn't. And number three, this is super important, build up your network. Most jobs aren't even ever posted. They end up going to a connection or a friend of a friend. Stay connected with coworkers. Go to conferences and connect with your industry peers. When layoffs happen, knowing the right people can get you hired fast. And here's the psychology behind this. Focusing on what you can control dramatically will lower your stress. Instead of feeling hopeless, feel confident. Take action. The goal is to make yourself the person they can't afford to lose. Tip number 8, avoid big purchases and taking on new debt. Thinking about buying a new car or upgrading your house? Stop right now. When the economy starts becoming shaky, big purchases are a huge mistake. Why? Because new debt locks in higher payments. It puts more stress on your wallet. And when your income drops, if it drops, you're in big trouble. Look at 2008. People stretched themselves so thin on huge houses and then furniture to fill the houses. But those who kept their debt lower are likely to still own those houses. And at the very least, they had way more options. Before you make big purchases, ask yourself, is this something I can afford if my income drops? If not, wait. Ask yourself honestly, is this something I really need? And then, very importantly, ask yourself if this purchase will move you further along towards reaching your financial goals. If not, don't make it. And here's the psychology underlying all this. Instant gratification feels so good and your brain loves it. That shiny new car, ooh, it feels so good right now. But in the future, you're very likely to regret it. Emotional spending, while it feels so good in the moment, creates stress. So before you swipe that card or sign that loan, pause and really think about your long-term financial goals. Avoiding unnecessary debt means more freedom, more security, and less stress, especially when the economy is uncertain. Tip number 9, take advantage of recession opportunities. Most people fear recessions, but did you know they can actually make you richer? Recessions bring big challenges, but they also create enormous opportunities, especially for those who are prepared. Some of the biggest fortunes in history were built during the biggest economic downturns. In the early 1980s, for example, investors who bought stocks after the crash saw massive gains when the market rebounded. So here are some ideas on how you can turn an economic downturn into an opportunity for you. First, buy when prices are low. If you're stable financially, market dips are a sale on stocks, on real estate, and on other assets. The market has always rebounded throughout history, and so people who are patient and people who are able to buy when everyone else is selling end up winning big. Also, think about refinancing debt. If interest rates drop, you might be able to refinance a mortgage, saving yourself tens of thousands of dollars over time. Also, you can think about negotiating better deals. Tough times means that businesses are more willing to cut prices or be more flexible. During these times, you can save big on things like rent, services, and even on major purchases. Here's the psychology behind this way of thinking. It's called cognitive reframing. Instead of seeing a recession that's coming, and you know it's coming, as a threat, see it as an opportunity. Fear holds people back, but you know better. You know a recession is coming if one's not here already, and you can prepare for it. The people who prepare for a recession and know it's coming, and by the way, it's coming, they'll come out much stronger when the economy recovers. And last but certainly not least, number 10, prioritize mental and emotional well-being. Financial stress isn't just about money. It can wreck your health. But here's how to stay grounded. Recessions don't just hit your wallet, they hit your mind and they hit your body. Stress around money can lead to anxiety, sleepless nights, and even health concerns. Studies show that during economic downturns, depression and anxiety rates soar. That's why mental well-being and psychological stability is just as important as financial stability. And here are some ideas on how to protect yourself. Number 1, practice mindfulness. Take some deep breaths. Try to focus yourself into the moment. Even journaling can help lower your stress. During the Great Depression, families got together. Being around people you love can really help. They shared stories, they played music to keep their spirits up and to stay connected to each other. Number 2, focus on what you can control. This is so critically important to your mental health. You can't control the economy, but you can control your spending, your budget, and your career choices. And limiting the financial news can really help because quite literally, you can do nothing about what they're talking about on the news. And number three, talk to somebody, a trusted friend, a counselor, a financial professional. Don't suffer alone in silence. Talking about money reduces stress and it allows you to see solutions much more clearly. Money is deeply emotional, and when we're stressed, we're much more likely to make bad financial choices. But staying emotionally strong can help you make better financial choices. And this will allow you to ride out tough economic times. Remember, money is just a tool. It's not who you are. It's not your worth. Protect your mental health and you'll stay strong no matter what the economy is doing. Hey, if you found these tips helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone you care about. But I want to hear from you. What's your biggest concern when it comes to preparing for recession? Drop a comment below. I'd love to talk about it. I'll see you next time.